"You'll sleep in the garage," my son said. Not asked. Told. Like I was some vagrant he was doing a favor. I looked at Derek, at his wife Amanda standing behind him with her arms crossed, at the house I'd helped them buy with $63,000 5 years ago. Then I turned around, got in my truck, and drove away. What Derek didn't know was I'd already made 3 phone calls that morning. By the time he realized what he'd done, it was way too late. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and write in the comments what time it is where you are now. The flight got in at 2:15. I texted Derek from baggage claim. Landed. Be there in 30. He texted back 40 minutes later. K. Not welcome or safe flight or see you soon. Just K. I'd flown from Phoenix to Denver. $672 for the ticket. Another $83 to check my bag because Amanda had asked me to bring some of Martha's old quilts. The kids would love them, she'd written. Family heirlooms, you know. Martha had made those quilts over 20 years, each stitch by hand. She'd been dead 18 months. I loaded my bag into the rental car, another $200 a week. Drove to their house in Thornton, the house with the blue door and the maple tree in front, the one where I'd written the down payment check for $63,000 in 2019. Pulled up at 3:40, rang the doorbell. Derek opened it. "Oh, Dad. Hey." He didn't move aside. "Hey yourself." I gestured to my bag. "Long trip." "Yeah. He glanced back into the house. "Listen, we've got kind of a situation." I'd been standing on that porch for 30 seconds. He hadn't invited me in. "Amanda's sister showed up yesterday," he said. "Total surprise. She's going through a divorce and needed somewhere to stay. She's in the guest room." The guest room. The one with the queen bed and the attached bathroom. The one Amanda had shown me in photos with the caption, "Your room when you visit." "Okay," I said. "So where am I sleeping?" "Well," Derek scratched his neck. "We've got the garage set up pretty nice. Space heater, cot, camping lantern. It's actually kind of cozy." I stared at him. "It's just for the week, Dad. Sarah's pretty fragile right now. We didn't want to put her out." "But you'll put me out." "It's not like that." "Then what's it like?" Amanda appeared behind him. "Hi, Frank. Sorry about the confusion. We just found out yesterday Sarah was coming. It's been really stressful." Stressful. The woman whose divorce lawyer I'd paid for, $4,000 last month when she'd called crying about legal fees, was calling this stressful. "The garage," I said. "It's really not bad," Amanda said brightly. "We cleaned it out, moved the bikes and everything." I looked past them, saw the hallway, the living room with the furniture I'd helped them move in, the kitchen table I'd bought them as a housewarming gift. Saw Sarah walk by in the background. She waved, smiled, disappeared into what I knew was the guest room. My room. "You'll sleep in the garage," Derek said. It wasn't a question anymore. I picked up my bag. "No. Dad, I'm going to a hotel." "Come on, don't be dramatic. It's 1 week. You're putting your 70-year-old father in a garage with a cot while your sister-in-law sleeps in the guest bed." "You're 68, Amanda corrected. Like that made a difference. "Sarah's had a really hard time," Derek added. "She needs stability right now. And I need respect." Derek's face hardened. "Dad, we're offering you a place to stay. We cleaned the garage. We got you a space heater. I don't know what else you want from us." What I wanted was to be treated like family instead of an inconvenience. But I didn't say that. "I'll get a hotel," I said again. "Jesus Christ, Dad. Fine. Waste your money." Derek started to close the door. "The quilts are in my bag," I said. "The ones Amanda asked for." "Just leave them," Amanda said. "We'll grab them later." I walked back to my car, put my bag in the trunk, pulled Martha's quilts out, 4 of them, wrapped carefully in tissue paper, set them on the porch. Neither of them came out to get them. I drove to a Marriott off I-25, $139 a night, 7 nights, nearly $1,000 for the week. Sat in the parking lot before I checked in, phone in my hand, staring at Derek's contact photo, him and Amanda on their wedding day, smiling. I'd paid for that wedding, $28,000, open bar, seated dinner for 150 people, photographer, band, flowers, everything Amanda's mother had insisted was necessary for a proper celebration. I'd written the check without complaint. That was 6 years ago. I opened my banking app, scrolled back through the transactions, started counting. $63,000. Down payment. June 2019. $28,000. Wedding. August 2018. $3,200. Transmission repair. March 2020. $1,800. Emergency root canal for Amanda. July 2020. $4,000. Sarah's divorce lawyer. Last month. I kept scrolling. Monthly transfers to Derek. 500 here, 800 there. Just until the promotion comes through, Dad. The promotion that never came. Or if it did, the money didn't stop. Car insurance I'd kept him on until he was 29. Just while I build up savings, Dad. The laptop for his home office, $1,400. The bedroom set for the baby, $2,200. Baby clothes, diapers, formula, groceries when money was tight, which was always. I added it up. Took me 20 minutes sitting in that parking lot. Had to scroll back 5 years to get it all. $162,000. Not counting the smaller stuff, not counting the birthday gifts, the Christmas checks, the times I'd bought dinner when we went out, not counting time. The weekends I'd driven up to watch the kids when they needed a sitter, the furniture I'd helped move, the fence I'd helped build in their backyard. $162,000 in 5 years. And they'd put me in the garage. I checked into the hotel, called Derek from my room. "Hey, Dad," he said. I could hear the kids screaming in the background. "Get a hotel okay?" "Yeah." "Good. Listen, we're doing dinner tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Amanda's making pot roast. I'm not coming." Silence. Then, "What?" "I'm not coming to dinner." "Dad, come on. Don't be like this." "Like what?" "Petty. We said we were sorry about the garage thing." "No one said they were sorry." "Well, we are, okay? Sorry. But Sarah's really going through it right now, and I'm your father. I know that." "Do you?" More silence. Then, "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I flew 600 miles to see you, and you told me to sleep in your garage." "It was 1 week, Dad. 1 week, and you couldn't handle a little inconvenience?" A little inconvenience. That's what he called it. "I'm going home," I said. "You just got here." "I'll change my flight. Leave tomorrow." Are you serious right now? His voice climbed. You're going to fly all the way out here and then leave because your feelings got hurt? My feelings got hurt, like I was a child throwing a tantrum. I paid for this house, I said. Quiet. Calm. Oh, here we go. $63,000. Down payment. We're paying you back. When? No answer. I paid for your wedding, your car repairs, your wife's dental work, your sister-in-law's divorce lawyer last month. I've given you over $160,000 in the last 5 years, and you put me in the garage. So that's what this is about. Money, you're keeping score. I'm recognizing a pattern. A pattern of us being grateful for your help, of us trying to make room for you even when our lives are chaotic. A pattern of you treating me like an ATM. Derek laughed, sharp, mean. An ATM. Jesus, Dad. We invite you into our home. The home I bought. We didn't ask you for that money. You offered. And you took it. Because you're our father. That's what family does. Family doesn't put each other in garages. Oh my God, it was temporary. It was 1 week. You're 70 years old and you're acting like a child. 68. But I didn't correct him. I'm changing my flight, I said. I'll be gone by tomorrow afternoon. Fine. Go. Run away, because we couldn't give you the royal treatment. Goodbye, Derek. I hung up, sat on the edge of the hotel bed, hands steady. That surprised me. I'd raised him better than this. I thought I had. After Martha died, people told me I was lucky. At least you have Derek, they said. At least you have family close by. Derek lived in Colorado. I lived in Arizona. 11 hours by car, 2 hours by plane. He'd visited twice in 18 months. Once for the funeral. Once for Thanksgiving, 3 months ago. Stayed 4 days. Left early because Amanda wanted to get home before the weekend traffic. I called him every Sunday, same time, 4 o'clock Mountain Time. We talked for maybe 20 minutes, mostly about the kids, sometimes about his work. He asked about me occasionally. How are you doing, Dad? Always the same tone, polite, distant, like he was checking a box. I'd told him I was lonely, told him the house felt too big now, told him some days I forgot to eat because cooking for one felt pointless. You should get out more, he'd said. Join a club or something, meet up groups. There's tons of stuff for seniors. Seniors, like I was ancient. Maybe I could come visit you more often, I'd suggested. Yeah, totally. Anytime, Dad. You're always welcome. Always welcome. I stared at my phone, at Derek's contact photo. Thought about deleting it. Didn't. Instead, I opened my bank's app. Found the recurring transfers I'd set up years ago. $500 a month, automatically sent to Derek's account on the 1st. Just until we get stable, Dad, you're a lifesaver. That was 3 years ago. I canceled the transfer. Then I opened my email. Found my credit card statements. The one I'd given Derek for emergencies. Only for real emergencies, Dad. I promise. Last month. $840 at Target. $612 at a restaurant called The Mountain View. $320 at some boutique called Willow and Sage. Emergencies. I called the credit card company. Canceled the card. Requested a new one sent to my address in Phoenix. Then I called my lawyer. Judith answered on the second ring. Frank, How's Colorado? I need you to draft something. Okay. Her tone shifted. Professional. What are we drafting? A demand letter for repayment of a loan to Derek. Judith had handled Martha's estate. She knew my family, knew the whole situation. Yes. How much are we talking? $162,000. I heard her exhale. Jesus, Frank. Is that a problem? No. Not legally. Did you document these as loans? I have records of every transfer. But did you call them loans at the time? Any written agreements? No. Then this gets complicated. Gifts versus loans, we'd have to prove intent. He could argue. I don't care about the money, I said. Silence. Then what do you care about? I want him to understand. Understand what? What he's lost. Judith was quiet for a moment. Then, tell me what happened. I told her. The garage, the cot, the space heater, Sarah in the guest room. When I finished, she said, "Do you want to pursue the loan repayment or not?" "I want options." "Options for what?" "For setting boundaries. For making sure this never happens again." "Boundaries are free, Frank. You don't need a lawyer for that." "I need documentation." "Of what?" "Of everything I've given him, dated, itemized, official." "I can do that. Put together a financial summary of all transfers and purchases." "Is that for your records, or are you sending it to him?" "I don't know yet." "Okay, I'll draft it. Anything else?" I looked around the hotel room. Generic art on the walls, scratchy comforter, view of the parking lot. "My will," I said. "I want to revise it." "Frank, I want to revise it." Another pause. Then, "Come see me when you're back in Phoenix. We'll talk about it properly. Don't make decisions when you're angry." "I'm not angry." "Yes, you are. And you have every right to be. But let's not do anything rash." I thanked her, hung up, changed my flight for the next morning, 7 a.m., paid the change fee, another $200. That night I didn't sleep much. Kept thinking about Derek at 8 years old. How he'd crawl into bed with me and Martha during thunderstorms. How small he'd felt. How he'd cried when I taught him to ride a bike and he fell. Not because he was hurt, because he thought he'd disappointed me. "You could never disappoint me," I'd told him. "Not ever." I'd meant it then. The next morning I checked out early. Drove past Derek's house on my way to the airport. Saw his truck in the driveway. Saw the quilts still sitting on the porch where I'd left them, getting damp from the morning dew. I didn't stop. At the airport, I texted him. "Heading home. Have a good week." He didn't respond. I landed in Phoenix at 11, drove straight to my house, the one Martha and I had bought in 1985, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, small backyard with the garden she'd loved, paid off 15 years ago. Quiet. I unpacked, put Martha's remaining quilts back in the closet. She'd made 7 total. I'd given 4 to Derek, kept 3 for myself. That afternoon I went to the bank, sat down with my account manager, Carl, showed him my phone. "I want to make sure no one but me can access this account," I said. Carl looked at my transaction history, at the years of transfers, at the patterns. "Has someone been taking money without permission?" he asked. "No, but I want to make sure they can't. Are we talking about financial exploitation? Because if you're being coerced, I'm not being coerced. I'm being smart. Carl nodded slowly. I can set up additional authentication requirements, verbal password, in-person verification for large transfers, whatever you want. All of it. Okay. Can I ask what prompted this? I almost told him, didn't. I'm 70, I said. 68. I'm protecting my assets. Carl didn't look convinced, but he didn't push. We spent an hour updating my security. When we finished, no one could touch my money but me. That evening, Derek called. I let it ring. He called again an hour later, then again at 9. I turned off my phone. The next morning, I had 17 text messages. Dad, call me back. Dad, I don't know why you're ignoring me. We need to talk. This. Amanda says I should apologize, so I'm sorry, okay? Dad, this is ridiculous. My card got declined. Did you do something to your account? There it was. Dad, seriously, I need that card for groceries. The kids need to eat. Call me. Dad. I blocked his number. That afternoon, Amanda called from her phone. I answered. Hello? Frank? It's Amanda. Derek's been trying to reach you. I know. We're really worried. Are you okay? I'm fine. Derek said you canceled his credit card, and the monthly transfer didn't go through. That's correct. Why? Because I'm done. Silence. Then, done with what? Paying for your life. Frank, I gave you $162,000 in 5 years. I flew out to see you. You put me in a garage. I'm done. It wasn't personal. Sarah needed... I don't care what Sarah needed. I'm your family, not her. You are family. That's why we knew you'd understand. Understand what? That I'm less important than Sarah? That after everything I've given you, I'm worth a cot and a space heater? You're being really unfair right now. I laughed. Couldn't help it. Unfair, I said. Okay. We've always been grateful for your help. Always. But you can't hold that over us forever. I'm not holding anything. I'm stopping. Stopping what? The help, the money, the pretending I'm okay with how you treat me. How we treat you. Frank, we love you. We invited you to our home. And put me in the garage. It was temporary. It was revealing. Amanda made a sound, frustrated. So what? You're going to cut us off? Punish us because your feelings got hurt? I'm setting boundaries. By taking away support your grandchildren depend on? And there it was. The real concern. Not me. The money. Your grandchildren, I said slowly, are not my financial responsibility. They're your family. So am I. And you treated me like garbage. We said we were sorry. No, you didn't. Derek said you told him he should apologize. That's not the same thing. Fine. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry we didn't handle it better. But Frank, we need that card and the monthly transfers. We budget around that money. Then adjust your budget. We can't just... You're going to have to. Frank, please, be reasonable. I am being reasonable for the first time in years. What about the kids? What about their needs? What about my needs? You're retired. You have plenty. I have plenty because I worked for 40 years and saved. You have nothing because you spend everything I give you. That's not fair. It's accurate. She was crying now. I could hear it in her voice. Please, Frank. We're barely making it as is. You're making it on my money. We'll pay you back, I swear. Just don't do this. Goodbye, Amanda. I hung up, sat there shaking, not from fear, from something else, something that felt almost like relief. That night, Derek texted from Amanda's phone. You're really going to do this? Abandon your grandkids? I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm stopping the money. Same thing? No, it's not. They're going to suffer because you're mad at me. They're going to adjust because their parents need to support them. We do support them, with your help. Not anymore. You're a bastard. I stared at that text for a long time. Then I wrote back, I'm your father, and you put me in a garage. No response. I unblocked Derek's number, wanted him to be able to reach me if there was a real emergency. But I didn't reach out. Days passed, then a week. I went to see Judith, sat in her office with the big windows overlooking Camelback Mountain. I want to change my will, I said. I told you not to make decisions when angry. I'm not angry anymore. She studied me. What are you? Clear. Judith opened a file. My current will. Everything split between Derek and Martha's sister, Helen, 50-50. What changes do you want? Judith asked. Derek gets nothing. Frank, I'm serious. You need to think about this. Estate disputes, undue influence challenges. He could argue. He called me a bastard. Judith stopped, looked up. What? 2 weeks ago, after I stopped the money. He called me a bastard. She set down her pen. Tell me everything. I did. All of it. The garage, the flight home, the canceled card, the texts, the calls. When I finished, Judith leaned back. Has he tried to apologize? No. Has he acknowledged what happened? He thinks I'm being petty, and you want him completely out of the will. Yes. What about your grandchildren? Set up trusts they can access at 25, managed by Helen. So they get something, but Derek doesn't. Correct. Judith was quiet. Then, this is a big decision. I know. You can change it later if things improve. They won't. You don't know that. Yes, I do. She looked at me for a long moment, then nodded. Okay, I'll draft it. Give you a chance to review before we finalize. Thank you. Frank? Are you doing okay? Really? I thought about it. Yeah, I think I am. 3 days later, Judith sent me the draft. I read it twice, signed it, had it notarized. Derek would get nothing. The grandkids would get college funds and trust distributions at 25. Helen would get the house and half the remaining assets. The other half would fund the grandkids' trusts. If Derek wanted to contest it, he could try, but I'd included a detailed letter explaining my reasoning, how much I'd given him, how he'd treated me. The garage. No judge would question my competency or my motives. It was done. I didn't tell Derek. Didn't see the point. He'd find out when I died, and by then it wouldn't matter what he thought. But the universe had other plans. 4 days after I signed the new will, my neighbor Helen, different Helen, not Martha's sister, knocked on my door. Frank, you have a minute? Sure. She held out her phone. Did you see this? It was a Facebook post. Derek's account. Posted that morning. My father has completely cut us off financially and refuses to talk to us. If anyone knows how to get through to someone having a mental health crisis, please reach out. We're worried about him and the decisions he's making. I stared at it. 214 likes, 67 comments. Oh, Frank, I'm so sorry. Prayers for your family. Have you considered calling Adult Protective Services? My dad went through something similar. Dementia can cause personality changes. I scrolled through them, each one worse than the last, each one from people who didn't know me, didn't know what happened, just knew Derek's version. Is this true? Helen asked, carefully. Are you okay? I'm fine. He says you're having a crisis. I'm not. Frank, he put me in his garage, Helen. I flew to Colorado to visit, and he told me to sleep in his garage. Her eyes widened. What? I told her. Everything. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she said, That son of a bitch. Yeah. What are you going to do? I don't know. You need to respond. People are seeing this. They think you're... She gestured at the phone. They think you're losing it. I don't care what they think. Frank, he's controlling the narrative. You need to tell your side. I'm not getting into a Facebook fight with my son. Then what? I took her phone, read the post again, studied the comments, then I handed it back. Nothing. Nothing? Let him think he's winning. That afternoon, Derek called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Hello? Dad. Jesus. Finally. Derek. Did you see my post? I did. And? And what? Are you going to take it down? I almost laughed. I didn't post it. I meant, are you going to call me so I can take it down, so I can tell people you're okay? Tell them whatever you want. Dad, I'm trying to help you. People are worried. You're trying to manipulate me. What? No, I'm trying to get you to talk to me. You blocked my number. You canceled the card. You disappeared. I set boundaries. You had a breakdown. No, Derek, I didn't. Then why are you acting like this? Like what? Crazy. Irrational. You're destroying our relationship over one misunderstanding. It wasn't a misunderstanding. You told me to sleep in the garage. I explained that. Sarah needed... I don't care about Sarah. Clearly, you don't care about anyone but yourself. I closed my eyes, breathed. I'm not giving you more money, I said. This isn't about money. Yes, it is. That's all it's ever been about. That's not true. When's the last time you called me just to talk? When's the last time you asked how I was doing and actually listened to the answer? Silence. You can't remember, I said, because it doesn't happen. I call you every week. You call me when you need something, when you want something. I'm not your father anymore, Derek. I'm your bank. That's such bullshit. Is it? Tell me the last time you visited that wasn't a holiday or an obligation. More silence. I paid for your house, your wedding, your car repairs, your wife's dental work. I've given you over $160,000. And you put me in a garage. How many times do I have to apologize? You haven't apologized once. Amanda said you should. That's not the same thing. Fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry we made you feel bad. Is that what you want to hear? I want you to mean it. I do mean it. No, you don't. You want the money back. Jesus Christ, Dad. Yes, okay. I want the money back. We need it. Is that a crime? We budget around your help. We count on it. And you just cut us off without warning. Without warning. I gave you 5 years of warnings. Every time I visited, every time I called, every time you treated me like an inconvenience. We never... The garage, Derek. You put me in the garage. It was one time. It was the final time. I hung up, blocked the number he'd called from. That night I couldn't sleep. Kept thinking about Derek at 15. How he'd asked me to teach him to drive. How patient I'd been. How we'd spent hours in empty parking lots, him jerking the wheel, stalling at stop signs. How proud I'd been when he passed his test. How he'd hugged me, said, "Thanks, Dad, for everything." When did that kid disappear? The next morning I drove to urgent care, asked for a cognitive evaluation. The doctor looked confused. "Are you experiencing symptoms?" "No." "Then why?" "I want documentation that I'm competent." He understood then. Didn't say anything, but I saw it in his eyes. He'd seen this before. The evaluation took 2 hours. Memory tests, problem solving, pattern recognition, clock drawing, verbal fluency. I passed everything. Perfect score. The doctor handed me a sealed letter. "Your results, if you need them for legal purposes." "Thank you." "Can I ask what's going on?" "My son thinks I'm having a breakdown." "Are you?" "No." "Then what are you having?" I thought about it. "A realization?" He nodded. Didn't ask anything else. I took the letter to Judith, had her add it to my file. Proof that I'd been evaluated. Proof that every decision I'd made was sound. "You're building a case," Judith said. "I'm protecting myself." "From what?" "From whatever he tries next." I didn't have to wait long. 2 days later, someone from Adult Protective Services called. "Mr. Wagner, this is Susan Chen from APS. I'm calling because we received a report of concern." My stomach dropped. "A report?" "Yes, sir. A family member expressed worry about your welfare. Would you be willing to meet with me? Just a brief conversation to make sure you're okay." "Who filed the report?" "I can't disclose that, but it was my son." Pause. "I can't confirm or deny that, Mr. Wagner, but I would like to meet with you, just to put everyone's mind at ease." "Everyone or Derek?" "Sir, this is standard procedure. It won't take long." I closed my eyes. "Fine. Are you available tomorrow? I could come to your home?" "What time?" "Would 10 a.m. work?" "Yes." She gave me her information, told me what to expect, told me it was nothing to worry about. After we hung up, I called Judith. "He reported me to APS," I said. "Son of a bitch. Can he do that?" "Unfortunately, yes. Anyone can file a report. It doesn't mean it's valid." "What do I do?" "Cooperate fully. Be polite. Show her you're home. Show her you're capable. Do you have the cognitive eval letter?" "Yes." "Have it ready. Show her your bank statements. Prove you're in control of your finances. This is exactly why we documented everything." "What if she believes him? What if she thinks—" "Frank, you're fine. You're cognitively sound, financially independent, living in your own home. There's no case here. Let her do her investigation. She'll see Derek's full of it." I hope she was right. That night I cleaned the house. Not that it was dirty, but I wanted everything perfect. Wanted no ammunition. The next morning Susan arrived at 10 sharp. Mid-40s, kind eyes, professional. I let her in. She looked around, at the clean kitchen, the organized living room, the photos of Martha on the mantel. "Thank you for meeting with me, Mr. Wagner." Frank. Frank. I know this might feel intrusive. I want to assure you this is just a conversation. My son reported me. I can't confirm. It's fine. I know it was him. What did he say? She hesitated. Then, "The concern was that you've been making unusual financial decisions and isolating yourself from family, that you might be experiencing cognitive decline or being influenced by someone." By who? The report didn't specify. Let me guess. He thinks I'm losing my mind. Are you? No? Can you tell me what's been going on? I told her. The whole story. The garage, the money, the canceled card, the Facebook post. All of it. She listened, took notes, asked clarifying questions. When I finished, she said, "Do you have documentation of the financial support you mentioned?" I showed her my bank statements. Every transfer, every payment, the spreadsheet I'd made, $162,000 itemized. She studied it. "This is very detailed. I wanted to be clear. Have you been evaluated by a doctor recently?" I handed her the letter from urgent care. She read it. Her expression shifted. "You scored perfectly on cognitive testing." "Yes." "When was this done?" 3 days ago." "Why?" "Because I knew this was coming." She looked at me. Really looked at me. "Frank, do you feel safe?" "Yes." "Are you being coerced or threatened by anyone?" "No." "Are you making your own financial decisions?" "Yes." "Do you understand the consequences of those decisions?" "Completely." She closed her notebook. "Okay. Okay. Frank, I don't see any evidence of concern here. You're clearly competent. Your home is well maintained. You're articulate, organized, and making rational decisions. So I'm going to close this case. I'll document that I completed a home visit and found no indicators of abuse, neglect, or exploitation." Relief flooded through me. "Thank you. Can I give you some advice?" "Sure." "Your son is going to be upset when he hears this. Be prepared." "I am. And Frank, you're doing the right thing, setting boundaries. It's hard, but it's healthy." After she left, I sat in Martha's chair, the one by the window where she used to read. I'd won. Derek had tried to have me declared incompetent, and he'd failed. But it didn't feel like winning. It felt like losing something I could never get back. That afternoon, Derek called. Different number again. "They closed the case," he said. "No greeting." "I know. How did you—" He stopped. "You prepared?" "Yes." "You got a cognitive evaluation. You documented everything. You played this like a chess game." "I protected myself." "From your own son." "You reported me to APS." "Because I'm worried about you." "No, Derek. You're worried about the money." "That's not—" "Susan asked me if I was being coerced or exploited. You know what I told her?" Silence. "I told her about the $162,000. About the garage. About every time you've treated me like an ATM instead of a father." "You want to know what she said?" "What?" "She said I was doing the right thing. She doesn't know our family. Neither do you, apparently. What's that supposed to mean? It means you forgot I'm a person, with feelings, with dignity. You saw a bank account, that's all. That's not true. Then why did you put me in the garage? Oh my God, Dad, let it go. No. It was a mistake. I admitted that. You never admitted anything. You got caught. There's a difference. Derek was breathing hard. I could hear it through the phone. What do you want from me? Nothing. Nothing. I don't want anything from you anymore. So that's it? We're done? I don't know. You don't know? I don't know if we were ever really started, Derek. Not in the way I thought we were. He made a sound, somewhere between laugh and sob. You're unbelievable. I'm tired. Of what? Of being used, of being disrespected, of pretending it's okay. We never used you. Every month for 3 years you took $500. Did you ever say thank you? Of course we did. When? No answer. I loved being your father, I said. I loved it more than anything except being Martha's husband. But you turned me into something else, a resource, an obligation, a problem to manage. That's not how we see you. Then how do you see me? Long silence. Derek? I don't know what you want me to say. The truth. More silence. Then, you're right. I almost dropped the phone. What? You're right. About the money. About how we treated you. About all of it. I couldn't speak. I got used to it, Derek said. His voice cracked. The help. The money. It became normal. And somewhere along the way I stopped seeing it as help and started seeing it as, I don't know, part of the budget, part of the plan. Derek, and the garage. God, Dad. I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks, about how that must have felt. Standing at my door after flying 600 miles and being told to sleep with the bikes and the camping gear. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I waited. I don't have an excuse, he continued. Sarah showing up, the chaos. None of that matters. You're my father. You should have had the guest room. You should have had whatever you needed. And I treated you like you were the inconvenience. I sat down, legs suddenly weak. Amanda's been on me about it, he said. She showed me the numbers, how much you've given us. I knew it was a lot, but seeing it all written out, he trailed off. I'm ashamed. Derek. And then I made it worse. The Facebook post, calling APS. I was angry and scared and I lashed out. I tried to make you look crazy instead of facing what I'd done. You did. I know. And I'm sorry. Really, truly sorry. Not because I want the money back. Because I want my father back. I closed my eyes. Wanted to believe him. If you never give us another $1, I understand, Derek said. I do. We'll figure it out. We should have been figuring it out all along instead of relying on you. But Dad, please, can we talk? Can I come see you? Let me make this right. I don't know if you can. Let me try. I thought about it. About Derek at 8, at 15, at 25. About who he'd been and who he'd become. About who he might be able to be again. Okay, I said. Really? Come to Phoenix. We'll talk. When? Whenever you want. This weekend. I'll drive. I'll be there Saturday morning. Okay. Dad? Yeah. Thank you. We hung up. I sat there for a long time, wondering if I'd just made a mistake, wondering if Derek really meant it, or if this was another manipulation, wondering if it mattered. Saturday morning, Derek's truck pulled up at 8. He got out alone. No Amanda, no kids. I opened the door. He looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days. Eyes red, hair messy. Hi, Dad. Hi. We stood there, awkward, two people who used to know each other. Can I come in? He asked. I stepped aside. He walked into the house, looked around, at the photos, the furniture, the quilts folded on the back of the couch. I brought these back, he said. He gestured to his truck. The ones you left on the porch. They're in the truck. I thought you might want them. They were for you. I know, but they're Mom's. They should be here. We stood in the living room. The silence heavy. I don't know where to start, Derek said finally. Neither do I. I wrote down what I wanted to say, on the drive, but now it all sounds stupid. Just talk. He nodded. Sat on the couch. I sat in Martha's chair. I've been thinking about when you taught me to drive, he said. Remember that? Yeah. You spent hours with me, every weekend for months. You never got mad when I stalled out or hit the curb. You just reset and we'd try again. I didn't say anything. And when I got my license, you took me to that steakhouse, the expensive one, just me and you told me you were proud of me. I was. I know. His voice broke. And somewhere between then and now, I forgot that you're not just someone who helps me. You're someone I love, someone I respect, someone I should never, never have put in a garage. Derek, let me finish. Please. I nodded. I took you for granted, completely. And I told myself it was okay because we were family and that's what family does. But I was wrong. Family doesn't use each other. Family doesn't take and take without giving back. Family doesn't treat each other like ATMs. He looked at me. Really looked at me. You gave me everything, he said, and I gave you nothing. And when you finally set a boundary, I tried to destroy you for it. I'm so, so sorry. I felt something break in my chest, something that had been holding tight for weeks. I miss your mom, I said. I know. The house is so quiet. Some days I don't talk to anyone, and I thought at least I have Derek. At least I have my son. But I didn't, did I? You do now, if you'll let me. How do I know this is real? You don't. But I'll prove it, however long it takes. We sat there, father and son, broken and trying to figure out how to not be. The money doesn't come back, I said. The monthly transfers, the credit card, that's done. I know. And if you need help, real help, you ask. You don't expect. You don't assume. You ask. Okay. And you visit, not because it's a holiday, not because you need something, because you want to see me. I do want to see you. Then prove it. Derek nodded, wiped his eyes. I will. We talked for 3 hours. About everything. About how he'd felt growing up. About the pressure he'd been under. About how he'd let that pressure turn me into a solution instead of a person. About how I'd let the giving become automatic. How I'd stopped asking if I could afford it, emotionally or financially. How I'd enabled the pattern as much as he'd created it. It wasn't fixed, not even close, but it was honest. And that was more than we'd had in years. Before Derek left, he brought in Martha's quilts. We folded them together, put them in the closet where they belonged. I really am sorry, Dad. I know. Can I call you tomorrow? Yeah. Not to ask for anything, just to talk. I'd like that. He hugged me, long and tight, like when he was little. I love you, Dad. I love you too. After he left, I sat in Martha's chair, watched the sunset through the window. It wasn't redemption. Not yet. Maybe never. But it was a start. And for the first time in months, the house didn't feel quite so empty. If you like this story, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and share your impressions in the comments. To listen to more stories, click on the window on the right. Thank you for being with us.